Scares me to death. And then what they thought would be fine is in the middle of the night, it's about 11:30, they're like, Todd, movie's over, time to go home. Why don't you walk home by yourself in the dark? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So I'll never forget that walk. That was 6 years old. That was 32 years ago, and I still remember that walk home. It was freezing cold, and I remember I looked up into the sky and I could see the Terminator's face in the sky with the red eyes, because my mind started playing tricks on me. You ever get to that point where you hear like the wind blow and it rustles through the grass or the leaves or the trees and things kind of shake around? You're like, it's a monster ready to attack and destroy me. This is what was going on in my situation. So I'm walking home, and normally in this situation you would want to walk home pretty quick, right? You want to get through the situation. Not me. I froze in fear, so I'm barely walking. Every noise I think is something ready to attack me, and I'm losing my mind because the Terminator is up in the sky staring down at me, and my mind is running away with itself. And everything is messed up in this situation. Well, just like that, the Israelites are having a very similar situation. They're having an emotional reaction to something God has called them to. And they're being irrational in their response. Anybody irrational ever make irrational thoughts and choices and decisions? Yeah. I always think it's funny because I can get irrational. Because I'll get things going in my head, and somebody will say something to me, and then I'll spin it and keep talking about it, and I'll play that thing over and over and over again, and I'll make something out of nothing. You ever done that before? Am I the only one? I'm talking about, like, so let's say I had some dirt on my shoes. I come in, and Miss Davis is like, hey, Todd, you got some dirt on your shoes. And she walks away, and I look down, and I'm like, yeah, there's dirt on my shoes, but you know what? I don't think she likes my shoes. And I think that's why she talked about the dirt on my shoes, because she doesn't, you know what? She doesn't just dislike my shoes. I don't think she likes my entire outfit. I don't think she likes my button-up, the white shirt, or my jeans. She thinks my jeans are too tight. This is ridiculous. I didn't even do anything. I just came in here. I'm trying to be here for you, and you want to talk about my outfit and my clothes. You know what? I don't think she doesn't just like my shoes and my outfit. My jeans are too tight, and this button-up's not good enough. Is that I don't think she likes me as a person. Yeah, that's it. She doesn't like me. See, this is what irrational, emotional fear does to us. And in middle school, this is running rampant in our lives. Come on, anybody say amen to that? Amen. One day, ladies, you're best friends. And the next day, it's like you wear the same shirt, like, oh my gosh, Becky, what are you doing? Why are you wearing this shirt? You knew I wore this one on Thursdays, Becky. What? And now, what's best friends is now frenemies. And then like in a few weeks, they'll be like best friends sleeping over and being like, I don't even know what I was mad at you about, Becky. We're just best friends. Right? Am I right? All the ladies like, yes, it's so true, Todd. So true. So this is what happens in our minds. And here's the thing. This is what I want you to get. You are what you continually think. You are what you continually think. The problem for a lot of us is we think our thoughts are ours. Nobody's ever going to know them. Nobody's ever going to hear them because I think them. They're in my head. Nobody gets to see them. But the reality is what you continually think is what you will then begin to do. And what our thoughts are become our words become our actions become our habits, and our habits become our destiny. It's who we are. And it all starts back at the beginning with our thoughts. I want to help you. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you, oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise, you will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore. What do you replace it with? You replace it with the good things of God. You replace it with what Jesus has called you into. You replace it with the goodness and this passion and this life that God has for you. I love what it says in Philippians 8, and I got to give some context to this, because this is Paul writing about how to respond to life. And if there's anybody who should be talking to us about how to respond to life, it is Paul. And if you don't know who Paul was once named Saul. He was he persecuted the church, the early church. He was negative towards it. He was zealous about the things of God, and he got twisted and didn't understand who Jesus was. And so he fought against the early church. He has this massive encounter with Jesus, and his life is completely changed. And then in doing so, he basically is the beginning and the movement of planting all these churches. And he writes pretty much 2/3 of the New Testament. And he's got this incredible perspective of life. Now, here's the thing. Not everything went well for Paul. See, a lot of times we can look at our situations and be like, I was born into this family, and it's not what it should be. I wish I had what they had. I don't have the house that they have. I don't have the situation that they have. I don't have the finances that they have. And we look at our situation, and we can allow it to dictate and determine how we respond to our lives. But Paul is this amazing man, but he went through a few things that none of us will probably ever encounter. Paul was whipped. He was beaten. He was imprisoned multiple times. He was put on a ship, and he was shipwrecked. So he goes through that. And then not only does he get shipwrecked, he gets deserted on the island of Malta. So he's up there after the shipwreck, and he walks over to a fire to warm himself up, and his snake jumps out. It's like, can everything just fall apart in one setting? And it does for Paul. And he gets snake bitten. They think he's going to die, but Paul flips it. Nothing happens to Paul because God was using it all for good. And Paul's mindset was constantly that God is doing something in my situation. And in all of that response, Paul literally converts the entire island to Christianity. He teaches them about Jesus, the heart of Jesus, the grace of Jesus, the life of Jesus, because of what took place on this island. And Paul has this incredible purpose, incredible mindset, and we can learn from him today. And he says in Philippians 4:8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. He gives us this perspective of find the good. Can you be a good finder?